as we say welcome one and all to, what do they call this, Sub-Zero refrigerator, right? I think it is. Let's just double check that. It's not a Sub-Zero. I know Sub-Zeros are really nice, when it comes to refrigeration and freezing, but it's 3 degrees right now. Mother Nature is giving us 3 Fs. We should be thankful. It's better than Mother Nature giving no Fs. Or, better yet, us owing Mother Nature an F. As we welcome you one and all to the Saranac Lake Civic Center Arena in Saranac Lake, New York, as we drop the puck on this, our second semifinal in the Cam Moody division of the Ultimate Chill, as the Middlebury Tigers in the black and orange in the number 1 seed taking on the number 4 seed in this division in the white sweaters with the black and red trim, the Tupper Lake Jacks. As Middlebury comes in having swept the round-robin weekend, going 3-0 and picking up 6 points in the divisional standings, and looking to put this one to bed quickly so that, perhaps the families can go out and have an early dessert. As this is played to the near side. Folks, my name's Glenn Burnett with a play-by-play and color commentary. So good to be here. So glad you'd have me here. As the winner of this game will advance and play for gold tomorrow morning. That gold game is scheduled to start at 11:05 in the morning tomorrow. And the loser will play for bronze at 9:40. As this is played to the backhand and into the basket. That right there, folks, is what we call the icebreaker. And Middlebury serves that one up. 1:27 into gameplay. As we see number 4 skating off the ice. That's Daly. And while we're going through introductions, let's go ahead and introduce you to the Middlebury Tigers. Daly, who just picked up the icebreaker. Jack and Joe Hendy, brothers, not twins. Cron, Cannell, Hill, Leonard, Bourgeois, Price, Poppy, and Bergeron. I want to thank the families who were gathered around while I was going through the roster pronunciations and making sure I was dialed in so that I am in semi-final game form. And let's introduce you to Tupper Lake. If you don't know them, here they are. Cole, Prue, Burke, Sylvia, Kays, Bean, Douillet, Bell, Willette, Trudeau, Counter, Gagne, Marks, Duame, Brown, and Counter. 2 counters out there. Phoenix and Lincoln. Phoenix skating in the number 20 and Lincoln in the number 40. And we will often see Lincoln in the offensive zone posted up at the left point. We'll see if that's the same today. As this is played out across neutral ice. And we saw Gagne trying to gain the advantage. If we get a look down to the Jack zone, losing an edge on the sidewall, played into the middle, and trying to keep that one moving along is Bourgeois. And this Middlebury team out of Middlebury, Vermont, as this one is redirected through the 5-hole. And skating off behind the bench. Let's take a look. I believe that's 22 that came off. And that would be Price. Now Middlebury coming in for a little bit more and following up very quickly as Hill drops one in the bucket. And very quickly, just 3.5 minutes into this first period, Middlebury out in front 3-0. Now, we mentioned in the previous game that the guidelines as it relates to running clock are as follows. We can go to a running clock in the second period if a team gets an 8-goal advantage. It can happen. Sometimes a team is just playing lights out and things tilt in their favor. Once that happens, a lot of times it opens up a deluge. Here's an opportunity on the left wing side, played out in front, and this one is busted through. As we see Marks celebrating as Tupper Lake gets on the board. And that was a much-needed bucket right there as Marks cuts the deficit down. And now Tupper Lake trailing 3-1. Back to the point on what will drive a running clock, and it does happen sometimes, usually later in the game. 8-goal differential in the second, or a 6-goal differential in the third. Bear in mind that there is something that will stop a running clock, and that is if a team gets to within 2 in the third, and they'll go ahead and stop the running clock and go back to regular timing. I know it's a little early to talk about these things, but we've seen a couple of teams in round-robin play get to the point where they forced a running clock. Tupper Lake is not ready to wave the flag here, at least not the white flag, as they continue to skate pretty strong across this ice. This is chased down by Lincoln Counter. Played down to the end wall. That's Sylvia out in the pink helmet. We found that one very easy way to remember the young skater, as this is covered up. As we see Prue in the net. And we've got him listed as number 35, but Prue has been wearing 15 between the pipes. There's another stop for the young netminder. As we see Kays out on the ice for the Jacks. And this is played around the rim. 5:55 remaining, first period action in a 3-1 game. Team in black right now leading. Those are the Tigers. As this is fumbled down low, the Tigers deep in their own zone. Kays looking for the poke check. And now with a whole lot of speed coming up on the left wing side, that'll be dumped deeply into the offensive zone. As we see Cron up at the left point area. And we saw Cron coming up on the left wing side. She's a fast skater. And when she gets to top speed, you can see how the defense has a tough time approaching to try to break up the play. As we see Handy in the defensive zone as counter. That's Lincoln working back into the defensive zone. Daly into the middle. From the slot, goes to the backhand and drops that one in the basket. And Daly with another one. call it the Daily Double. As Middlebury back up by 3. And we see Marks back out on the ice for Tupper Lake. Cannell on the right wing side. And we see Price centering the forward line. This is Price working through traffic. And this is broken up. As Tupper Lake able to send it down the ice. And this one will go down for icing. With 4:26 remaining first period action. In this, the second in a double shot of semifinal games. In the previous game, on a late score, Potsdam, Hailstorm, took the victory, so they'll be playing for gold tomorrow. And this is played down to the end wall, deep in the jack zone. As we see Hendy up top. That's Jack Hendy, number 8. And if you keep an eye out for number 9, that's brother Joe. Here's a shot. And a nice play by Prue. Just about half past the 7 o'clock hour here in Saranac Lake, as our temperatures have been plummeting. We were up as high as about 13 earlier in the day. Here's a backhander out in front, quickly swatted out of the slot. Now keep an eye on Willette, as Willette is roaming around in the slot area. We saw some strong performance by Willette on Thursday, as the young skater tosses it back into the Middlebury zone. Here's Willette working through traffic, forcing through a poke check. Here's a shot, and that'll be scooped up. Some brief communications between goaltender and skater. And now a 3-on-1 shaping up. Encounter trailing from behind. Here's a wrister and a nice kick save. As sometimes you just have to put it on the goaltender and hope that is left to be a one-timer and no second chance. And that's just what Prue provided there. Played out to the far side corner. Daly centering pass. That one slips by everybody. Up top to Hendy. Back out to the top of the slot. Here's a wrister. That catches Counter's skate. Played around to the near side. This one will make it out of the zone. Now carrying some momentum across the ice. Working on the right side. Here's a shot off the side of the post. Blocker save. Prue providing a lot of security in that net. Tupper Lake needs to get out of the zone as this one gets through. From up towards the top of the slot. And that one's the Daily triple. So we're down to 90 seconds remaining in first period play. As a casual stroll around the crease, that's Poppy in net for the Tigers, feeling just a little bit more comfortable with the state of the game. As Middlebury up by 4. And looking for early retirement. Played by Willett. Out across neutral ice. Marks pressuring. And so Leonard out there for the Tigers, number 17. Played across the top of the slot. Here's a long windup, sent wide. We will cap off this Ultimate Challenge tournament weekend as this one is sent in from the right wing side, just barely getting inside the right side post, the near side post. As that was Price serving that one up. 38.3 remaining. We'll have 4 on tap for Medal Sunday. As our first of the 4 games will be the National Guard Division bronze game, followed by the Cam Moody Division bronze game. And then we'll go to the Cam Moody gold. And we'll wrap everything up tomorrow with a 12:30 p.m. puck drop in the National Guard Division. And that'll be the gold game. As this closes out one period of play, a lot of good fortune here for the Tigers as they grab this first period by the tail with a commanding lead. We'll go ahead and take a quick break, step outside. Why do we keep stepping outside? I should learn better than that. When we come back, we'll have baking tips with Martha. From alongside the Saranac Lake Civic Center Arena, the Cold Sheet in Saranac Lake, New York, you're watching the second semifinal, Tupper Lake and Middlebury, the Ultimate Chill on Game Capsule TV YouTube channel. We'll be right back. And why am I backing out of it as if I've committed to the fans that I will go outside? That's okay, folks. I will not go outside until everything is said and done here. As we open up second period play, we're having a bit of fun behind the scenes here, Joe and I. Staying warm, watching an interesting game as there's been a lot of action going back and forth, mostly favoring the team in black with the orange trim. This is Cron gathering up the loose puck as we open up second period play. Middlebury in the black and orange, leading significantly, up 6-1. And as a tip of the cap to retired NHL commentator Doc Emmerich, we say welcome. Close call right there. Always fun to get tripped up on that introduction to the period while things are getting stirred up down low. Here's Cron with a wrister, and that one makes the nylon. Cron with a beautiful wrister, getting just enough bend on it, throwing the off-speed shot. And so now's as good a time as any to welcome you to the second period, the period of the long change, as the goaltenders trade nets, putting them and the defensive zones they guard on the opposite end of the ice from their benches. This makes defensive on-the-fly substitutions particularly difficult. Here's Daly on the right wing side, looking for a little bit more. And so the key takeaway in this period is get out of the defensive zone, into the offensive zone early and often. Apply pressure to the opposing defense. See if you can fatigue them, find them flat-footed, out of position, perhaps pulling penalties as Hill races back into his own zone to send the puck up ice. But most of all, you want to get shots on net and pucks in the bucket. And we've already given you a recap of pucks in the bucket as Middlebury with a significant lead. If Middlebury puts 2 more in the bucket before the Jacks get another one, we'll start a running clock. And that is protective of all players out there. This is Leonard. Leonard gets tripped up, and we got a penalty coming. Played on the penalty delay. And that's a tripping call right there. And this happens sometimes. You get desperate, trailing from behind. And it seems like there is an imminent scoring threat as Phoenix counter goes to the box for a minute. The primary benefit of going to a running clock when the differential gets a little bit too uneven is to protect against injuries. You don't want to find yourself in a game that seemingly has determined who's controlling the game. Here's Willett. He doesn't want anybody telling him who's controlling the game. That's a shorthanded goal for Willett. And so it'll take a little bit of extra work for Middlebury to get themselves into that advanced clock. But of course, if you have a running clock, that means there's less overall time on the ice, which means less chance of injury to either side. You don't want to find a team that is performing superiorly out there at risk of injury, nor do you want the team that is trailing from behind to run that risk. And so it is a good protector of the health and well-being for these skaters as this is played all the way down and Prue covers up. Just 9 seconds left in the counter penalty. And then the Jacks will go back to full strength. It's a big break for them. Having drawn the penalty, that put them at a disadvantage, and it looked as though perhaps Middlebury would hit that threshold in the scoring differential. But nay, it went the other way as Willett was able to put one into the basket. Played off the backhand. And Tupper Lake gains an extra skater. As Hill drops back, looking to prevent against a strong rush. Here's Hill on the left side. A little poke check by Willett. Hill continuing to stay in the play. Here's Leonard. Leonard veering out towards the right wing. Will gather possession. Will skate just inside the blue line. And that's poked out. Here's an opportunity for Marks as Marks, a strong skater, is trying to break that one out on the right wing. Played up ahead. And this is picked up by Hendy. Hendy with an angle pass. And Hill will pick that one up off the wall. Shot off the side of the cage. Played out towards the backside. No damage done there. As the Jacks looking for a little bit of help here. You want to keep an eye out for Bean out there for the Jacks, as Bean has provided some good service during the game that I saw on Thursday night. As we see Bell out on the ice for the Jacks. And that's Gagne in the middle. And Gagne is a speedy skater. And if you catch a deflection that bounces out into neutral ice, there's a good chance that Gagne can race that one up ahead into the offensive zone and get a good look at a scoring opportunity. Here's a play on Prue. Prue comes up with a stop. You got to be careful here as Hill is sneaking in around the crease, and Hill with a rebound turned away as Gagne providing some defensive assistance. With 6.5 to go in this second period. Middlebury in full control right now. As we see Sylvia and Kays out on the wings, left and right respectively. Played out towards the right point. Here's a point-to-point pass as that finds its way out to neutral ice, and a giveaway as Sylvia trying to come up with possession. Bean with the poke check. Here's a play directly on Prue. Prue does not know where the puck is, but it is stationary under the pads. Now, we enjoyed this Middlebury team coming to town last year. This is sent all the way down. That's going to make it for icing. I've been enjoying some of these younger age classes getting better at sending the puck down and avoiding the icing by sending it towards the cage. Not very easy to do, but when you get into that 12U and 14U, some of those players know a little bit better to slow down the throw of the puck so that if it misses the cage and goes down for icing, it's not so quick. And there's one deposited as it ricochets on the inside of the post. And this one is dropped in the bucket by number 21. That's Bourgeois. Mercy, mercy, mercy. And now here comes Hill, working on the left wing side. And there's one benefit for some of these smaller players who can throw a wrister from the point and typically wouldn't be able to lift it up and get it to go all in one flight. When you throw it on this ice, it seems to pick up speed, as this is one of the coldest sheets in the area. And that shot attempt deflected off Lincoln counter. Here's Leonard. Leonard, hesitation, throws it out towards Hendy. Into the middle, and a Hill able to get that one into the basket. A good performance being put out here. Well, as they say, all of me, why not take all of me? Down to 4:54 remaining in second period action. This is Cron. Nice stop and start there by Cron. Holding for the tag up. Into the middle. Down to the end wall. Dropped up to Cron as Cron comes down towards the half wall. Plays it out towards the right wing side, and Prue comes up with a nice stop. As we see Gagne working up on the left wing side, losing an edge. Really looking forward to see the young skater progress this one up ice. It is fun to watch folks chase after the smaller, faster skaters. Here's Cron pinching down towards the half wall, working through traffic. And now Cron centering pass, that's stolen. And here's Willett. Willett working up, goes to the forehand, and Willett serves it into the basket. Chalk another one up for the Jacks. With 3:25 remaining in the period. Played up off the wall. And this is Caves working on Hendy. Played up ahead on the right wing side. As we see Bergeron out on the wing. And Hill overskates the loose puck. Had an open opportunity to put that one in. Here's Bergeron. Bergeron into the middle slot. Here's Leonard with a wrister as that catches the blocker hand. And Prue comes up with a stop. And a beautiful play by the young Jacks goaltender. Not always guaranteed that that puck's going to stay out on that side of the line after you catch it. Late reaction sometimes. You don't get the best angle on the blocker. You know, many of us think of that blocker as something that you punch out there like a shield. It doesn't always work out that way. Sometimes it's just a big object on an arm that doesn't know just where the puck is, as we have a Jack skater down. Right. Our skaters take a knee here. And the young Jack skater will be looked after. They just ran more off the clock. At least one. I don't know how much, but I saw at least 5 seconds go. Resounding support here in the arena as Douillet slowly rising to his feet. And will skate off gingerly to the bench. And so we'll set up with a face-off to Prue's right side. 1:55 remaining, second period action. And this one is sent all the way down. Eased away. Poppy hasn't had a lot of action in the Middlebury zone, though there have been a couple of opportunities. The Jacks, particularly courtesy of Willett, have been able to gain the advantage. And we have a penalty upcoming here. And so the Jacks will go to the power play. We'll see if we get the hand signal. You want to call that a body check? I didn't see the hand signal. Yeah. And so the Jacks go to a minute power play with 1:13 remaining in the period. So we have to wait for that to be punched in. And then we'll go ahead and drop the puck to Poppy's right side. That'll be a little bit longer than a 0-second penalty. And so we'll do the calculations manually at 13 seconds remaining in the period. That is when the young Tigers skater will come out. And that'll be offsides. As this is played by Kays. Poppy gets a glove on it. Here's a backhander. Kick save by Poppy. And now played into the middle. Here's Price. Price goes straight on. And this one comes off the paddle. Might have even caught the blocker as it goes up over the cage and out of play. And Prue. Ice water in the veins, is that because of the climate in here, or is that just somebody's got a lot of resilience and very confident there? Great deal of composure there for Prue, as Prue stared down his attacker. "35 seconds remaining in this second period as Cron races back and gains possession. Cron behind her own net, working around the poke check, racing up on the left wing side. As Counter trying to provide some defensive support out in front. Bergeron comes out. Here's a shot, and Prue with another save. As this goes out towards the far side half wall, just a few seconds left. We'll see if that will be it, and it looks like it is, as the Jacks able to kill off a little bit more time there under heavy duress at the end of the period. And so at the end of 2 periods of play, Middlebury staying at arm's length in front. We'll take a quick break, rotate the tires. We will not rotate the tires. I just got this from our producer. And when we come back, we'll tell you why you don't store the topiaries. No? Oh, Jonathan's going to teach you how to build a floating bookshelf. That's right. From alongside the cold sheet in the frigid air, Saranac Lake Civic Center Arena, you're watching the Ultimate Chill Tournament, semifinal number 2, Tupper Lake in white, Middlebury in black, on Game Capsule TV. We'll be right back. As we open up third period action, goaltenders returning back to their original nets. We go into running clock mode right now with the scoring differential as it is. And early third period action, Middlebury strikes. That's 16 seconds in. And it looks like Hill picking that one up. And so that information has been communicated to the scorer's desk by the official. And with the exception of injury stoppages, during any play stoppage, the clock will continue to count down. And this is where Middlebury is looking for early retirement. And for that matter, since both of these teams will have another game left, you want to be well rested and ready for your respective medal game. This is played out to neutral ice. Price trying to gain possession. I don't know who that governing body is that's listed on that belt right there. But that W on there looks very reminiscent of WWF, the early wrestling days. That wouldn't be a surprise if Cam Moody brought that one out of his personal collection. I think his experience might predate WWE. That says United States Champion as we have a collision into the end wall, and subsequent to the play, that one is dropped in the basket. And so the way that things are shaping up right now, it looks like number 1 and 2 in this Cam Moody division will play for gold tomorrow. We already know that the Hailstorm out of Potsdam took a victory and earned a trip into the gold medal game, as this is shot wide of the net. Definitely want to give a special consideration to the Tupper Lake netminder, as Prue has been working hard throughout gameplay. And there is a little bit of help from Gagne, as Gagne just small enough to squeeze into the net and keep that puck out on the other side of the goal line. Here's an angle pass. This is going to go a little bit too far. We'll double check that, as I believe that was Bell who slid into the net, not Gagne. As we see Kays exiting along with Lincoln Counter as they finish up their shift. Down to 8 minutes remaining in regulation. What a fun weekend it has been in this Ultimate Chill tournament. And it will be quite something else when we get the ice ready for Sunday's events. So we have 4 games on tap, starting with the 8:15 a.m. National Guard bronze game, followed by the 9:40 a.m. Cam Moody bronze game. Those are the divisions. And then we'll cap off the weekend with an 11:05 a.m. Cam Moody Division gold medal game. Right now, the way it's shaping up, it'll be Potsdam and Middlebury. And this means that you'd be looking at a Tupper Lake SLP bronze game, and that'll be a fun one to watch as well, as we saw those two teams play against each other to a 5-3 total back on Thursday. And so it looks like the table will be set for some very good competition tomorrow. I believe The Rome Grizzlies will be representing in the National Guard division to play for gold. Take a look across, and I believe it's St. Albans has taken a victory over the Lakers, took a victory over Malone, and so I believe it's going to be Rome and St. Albans. And those two have matched up against each other, also in a close one. That was a 5-4 victory for Rome. Which means in that National Guard division, the Lakers and Malone will face off against one another. And in the head-to-head, Malone owned the Lakers. We'll see if the Lakers have a good bounce-back game in that rematch, as we're down below 5 minutes to go in regulation. And Tupper Lake just looking to get a little bit more on the board. These are all opportunities for them to get some skating repetitions. Here's Leonard with a wrister as that comes off with a cross pipe. And for those of you who are tuned in to the on-demand video on Game Capsule TV, thanks so much for checking in. As Gagne tossing one towards the net. This is Cron with it. In case any of you are curious about your commentator, you can check me out on LinkedIn. I choose it because it's the 19th most popular social media site. The name's Glenn Burnett. Spend a good bulk of my commentary time out in Lake Placid alongside the Miracle Sheet, the 1980 rink. And if your teams come through the area for any of the tournaments out there, we're usually running on the system out there. You'll see me around. You can say hi. You can also check out limited content over on Instagram as Baker's Radio. We also have some highlights and some short videos over on YouTube, Baker's Radio USA. As this is played out across the slot. So good to get back together with the band as we have Joe and Robin and I have reunited on the video production here in this Ultimate Chill Challenge. We have spent how many months, perhaps even a couple of years, I think it is, in total, a couple of years. So we're fairly familiar with what everybody provides. We don't have to call out for the passes. We already know where the passes go. A lot of non-verbal communication around here makes things easy. You know, Joe's got his special skills. I might be able to skate fast, but he knows how to white balance fast.
Make sure you tell the commentary that they are an A division team that lied. He's going to B division tournament.
As we wind down to the final 77 seconds. And this is played out from the half wall. as Middlebury works it out across neutral ice. Played out towards Prue, and Prue comes up with the stop. And that one is stopped by the young Jacks goaltender with half a minute to go. We should have our last sequence upcoming here as we set up to Prue's right side. Quick personnel change for Tupper Lake as they get their 6th skater off the ice. And now worked out from the left side as we played along the bottom of the boards. And that'll close things out as Middlebury, the number 1 seed, carrying through, taking care of business. And they will go on to face Potsdam in the gold medal game tomorrow. And we will see many of you right alongside this cold sheet tomorrow. And perhaps tomorrow, as it expects to be a bit colder, you will be bringing an extra layer, maybe some blankets, something like that, a quilt or two, as both teams gather at the center stripe to exchange goodwill on the handshake line. We say good game, yes indeed. Safe travels, good meals, and good luck. What a great day to be a hockey player. What a great day to play hockey. And so that'll close out the evening's competitions. And we'll go ahead and put the sheet to rest. Can we go ahead and turn the heat on in here overnight? Yes? No? And when we come back tomorrow, we'll have bronze and gold medal games, both in the Cam Moody division and in the National Guard division, all in a celebration of Cam Moody, Sergeant Cam Moody of the Army National Guard, all weekend long. From alongside the cold sheet, alongside Joe, the steady hands, Glenn Burnett with your play-by-play and color commentary. You've been watching the Ultimate Chill Tournament from Saranac Lake on Game Capital TV. We'll see you on the next one.